CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson presents Western Edge Living.
He's got a face for radio. Gosh, I've never heard that before. Hello, I'm Wild Bill. This is Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. Got another great program to tell you about, and I'll do that here in just a moment. But first, I want to tell you about CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. We are so fortunate to have their services embedded in our community. A beautiful, beautiful facility, and it's operated by a roster of very caring individuals who really enjoy what they do. We're so fortunate to have them here, and they offer programs for the community on a regular basis, and you can find out about those programs on their Facebook page. Programs like the Baby Seat program. Being a young parent, it can be kind of intimidating, that long list of things that you have to worry about, and you can check one off the list by learning about baby seats at one of their programs up and coming. And they teach you how to properly install those baby seats, how to use them, and much more. The Baby Seat program is just one of the many things that they offer the community, and you can find out more at CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. Along with my role here on Western Edge Living, I'm also the media director at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora. Stop by and check out our great facility, learn about the history of the great state of North Dakota, and much more, including a wonderful gift shop filled with amazing items. Our gift shop manager, Christy Toof, has done a superb job of really raising the bar at the gift shop at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora. You know, drone technology has come a long way since it was first introduced to the public, and drones are prevalent everywhere. Maybe you've seen them on TV or seen them on social media, but there's a young man from western North Dakota by the name of Dion Madler who has taken his interest in drones to the next level. He's begun a business called Eclipsed Drones LLC. Find him on Facebook, find him on TV talking about those wonderful things that drones can do and what he offers here in just a moment. Dion Madler is our guest today on the program. So I'm going to go change into something a little more appropriate. You fill up your beverage cup and call up the neighbors and tell them that Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson, starts now.
I had an episode with cancer. When I hit that 5-year mark, my doctor at Cancer Treatment Center of America outside of Chicago suggested to me that my provider in Dickinson at my hospital, do the tests that they would do at Zion. So within less than 2 days, I had both my tests taken and results, and I was able to stay in Dickinson and not have to travel all those miles. I just feel the fact that they work so closely together in making sure that those tests were taken and that my overall health was first and foremost in both those minds, whether it was at CTCA at Zion or my hospital right here. So I'm just so grateful for that.
Welcome to Western Edge Living. I'm your host, Bill Polnick, and I appreciate you tuning into our program each and every week like you do, and get some good feedback on the show. And if you'd like to contact us, we do have a domain secured. We're going to be working on a website and some email addresses. But meanwhile, find us on Facebook, Western Edge Living on Facebook, and you can communicate with us via that platform. You know, when we were setting up Western Edge Living, we talked about the things that we could do with this program, talking to nonprofits, giving them a voice, and talking to different groups and organizations about the activities that they have in the community. And one other thing that we come up with that we feel will be an asset to the community is talking to businesses new businesses that have been in operation in, say, for a year or less. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to meet a young man by the name of Dion Madler. Dion, hello. Nice to meet you. Dion is with Eclipsed Drones LLC. You're a drone pilot.
Yes, I am.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
We're going to find out how the steps that took you to become a drone pilot and what you're doing with that now. It's really exciting stuff. So thanks for being here. What would you be doing if we hadn't called you in to
I'd be doing civil engineering work probably, or helping my buddy Hotshot right now today. So
wow, never a dull moment in your life. Huh?
Nope, got to stay busy.
Okay, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch up with you here in just a moment. Meanwhile, I want to tell you that the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, we held our induction ceremonies on June 15th at Jaden Terrace in Medora. Several individuals, a bucking bull and a ranch, all were inducted into the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. And you can see the induction ceremonies in their entirety here on Consolidated. Also, with that, it's always a lot of moving parts to the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and the process starts again. If you're a trustee for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, look at the criteria for the 2025 inductions, and the nomination process has begun. You have from now until December to get nominations into us, and the process begins again. Also, when you come to Medora, make sure you drive up to the musical and look on the west end of the parking lot at that magnificent Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library that is under construction. You can actually see it from the interstate. It is so very impressive, and that is slated to open in July 4th, 2026, our nation's 250th birthday. A lot of things happening in Medora. Everybody's talking about the musical and the production this year. What a great production it is. Everybody's giving it a thumbs up. Check it all out at Medora.com. Find out more about the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame at northdakotacowboy.org, or find us on Facebook. Dion Madler from Billings County, huh? Grew up on a farm north of Belfield, I take it?
Well, no, I was actually an in-town kid. Sorry
you
about
were?
that. Yep, in Stark County, right out of Belfield.
You lived in Belfield, grew up in Belfield.
Yep.
Went to school your whole...
Belfield, yep, everything from grade school all the way up until graduation.
Wow, in 2017 you graduated.
Yep, feels like a long time ago already.
Listen to this guy. Yeah, I could tell you stories about that, about feeling like a long time. But anyway, what did you do after graduation? Now, did you go? There's so many opportunities.
I actually started my college career at BSC, played basketball there for 2 years while trying to obtain my civil engineering degree. So after them 2 years, I ended up transferring to NDSU to finish out my civil engineering degree, specifications in structural engineering, and then after that, it was just off I went into the real world.
Okay, civil engineering. Wow, what does that entail? What is civil engineering?
Oh man, it's a variety of different things. Just as I said, I mean, you can go anywhere from structures, designing buildings, bridges, just like I did, is what I chose to do. Or you can go into more a municipal type of deal for water, so all the waterway, sewer stuff, things like that you want to look into, or transportation, roadways, airports, things like that. So there's different branches. I mean, there's 5 different ones that you can go to, but the structure side interested me more because at a young age I was sitting there building with my Lincoln logs, building houses, things like that, and just kept with it and kept going with it. So.
Oh, wow. So you knew right away what area you wanted to go in right when you went into college?
Yep, I didn't have any question about it. I knew what I wanted to do, and I mean, the internships over the summers of them years of going to college helped me along that path too, that I knew that I wanted to do this, and this is where I needed to be.
Was your vision that you had before you went to school, when you finally got to school, was there anything that surprised you about the field that you chose?
No, honestly, not really. I mean, my brother-in-law works for an engineering firm out of Dickinson, North Dakota, Highlands Engineering and Surveying. So I've seen some aspects of it, and I kind of got the gist of it right away. So once I kind of got that down, I mean, when I got to school, obviously, it's a lot different. I'm away from everybody, just off on my own, and you had to buckle down a little bit, understand the schoolwork needs. Takes a little more than what you thought it would, especially when high school was. So that was the biggest change and the biggest difference that I had noticed was I got to sit down and buckle down a little bit and actually sit and learn this, because this isn't just going to always be here. It's always going to change. There's something going to be different.
Yeah. We're going to obviously focus on your engineering career and your, learning about engineering at school, but you also were on the basketball team at BSC.
Yes, I was. I was grateful enough to be accepted on and got to play some minutes and hang out, met a bunch of great people. So it's awesome.
Are you an NBA fan by any means?
I'm more of a college basketball guy.
Okay.
I'm more of a college basketball guy, especially I'm a big UNC Tar Heels fan. I loved them ever since. I don't even know how it all started. Just one day, that's my team. That's the team I need to watch, and I continue and will stand by that.
Okay. Did you play all 4 years when you went?
Nope. I only played 2 years. After I transferred from BSC to NDSU, I decided that it was just done. I did city intramurals, things like that. I mean, I still play basketball.
I bet that was therapeutic for you as you were studying an engineering field. I'm sure that was intense.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot of math and calculus and things like that involved, and
Yep.
Basketball was kind of a release for you, wasn't it?
Oh, it was 100%, and it still is sometimes. I mean,
yeah?
when things get a little tough and you got to figure some stuff out, I can go pick up a basketball and just dribble it around for a little bit, take some shots, and it just takes me back to where it was nice. Nice and simple.
What did you graduate with? What degree?
Civil engineering, bachelor's.
Bachelor's degree in civil engineering.
Yep.
Wow. After you graduated, what were the next things that took place?
I actually got hired on at MDU as a gas line engineer. So kind of veered off from the civil engineering side and actually worked towards more of a mechanical engineering side of designing all the gas piping that heats people's homes, gives them the electricity. And I covered 3 different states, 8 different districts, regions. So kind of veered off, but it was still an engineering aspect. It was kind of the same deal, just the thought process was still the same. It was solving solutions, figuring out how to do this, how to do that.
What time frame were we in? What year was this?
This was right after I graduated college.
Which was?
This would have been 2021 is when I finished.
So drone technology was coming around about that time. It was up and running. I mean, the wheels were in motion.
Yep.
And what was the defining moment that you said, hey, I want to learn how to do this?
Well, actually, in my process of the application process for MDU, my brother-in-law, who Josh Wilkie works at Highlands Engineering, he's one of their head guys. He gave me a call and says, hey, can you do this for me? I go, well, what do you need from me? He goes, I need you to go get this certification to fly drones for us, because they were using it as surveying work. So I go, yeah, I can do it. So went through all the course studies. I mean, it was videos and videos and videos, probably 10 hours worth of videos, just over repetitive stuff, learning maps, learning flight zones, learning all these different aspects of what you need through the FAA regulations. And went and took the test, called him that next day, I go, passed, ready to go. It was perfect. Started out flying part-time for him while I was still working at MDU, so weekend work. I was back home, working, hanging out, doing all that stuff, and that's where my passion really came to me, was this is what I want to do. This right here, because I'm in the oil and gas industry, helping them. That's the oil and gas industry to me is something that's bigger than what most people can see. And that's what I want to be a part of. I want to be able to show people that, and I also want to make it a safer and more efficient environment for everybody that's working in it. So with me flying that drone, it just felt like I was home, like I was on a basketball court. It was me just hanging out, watching this up in the air, just going, and providing customers data that was actually useful, that could be used in different areas, different ways. And that's where the biggest thing, and then I started all the research into what else I could do with it. Wow,
how exciting. I bet you were just, your adrenaline was just flowing once you, I can see the chain of events that led you to become a certified drone pilot.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, having said that, I hear the term certified drone pilot.
Yep.
What does that mean?
So it's not technically a license.
Okay.
Like most things you'll go and get your license for, but actually this is more so a certification card. It's not actually, which needs to be renewed every 2 years, they do it. So the way the FAA has it set up, obviously there is airplane pilots, and this certification separates us from that, along with other rules and regulations. So it's technically a Part 107 certification,
okay,
and that is what I have. So it's not a license or anything like that. So I can't go out and fly a plane or do any of that. I have to solely stick to a fixed wing or propelled SUAS, unmanned aircraft system.
And We're going to take a quick break here, Dion. When we come back, we're going to find out about the LLC that you formed by the name of Eclipsed Drones LLC. It's a new business, and you're just a little bit more than just a little excited about that.
Oh yeah, I'm extremely excited about it.
We have a certified drone pilot as our guest today here on Western Edge Living, and we'll be back in just a moment with Dion Madler right here on Western Edge Living.
You know, I got 2 home runs.
You got 2 jacks.
And then my grand slam, I signed the ball for you.
Okay.
And it says, Papa, I love you.
Why did you do that?
Because you taught me everything about baseball.
I'm so sweet.
Service Pro Express Lube, now open on East Villar Dickinson, gets your vehicle serviced quickly and you're back on the road in no time. No appointment required. You don't even get out of your vehicle. They utilize Service Pro oil, the only oil produced and refined in the U.S., and it meets or exceeds vehicle manufacturer requirements. Plus, they top off all fluids and perform multi-point inspections. It's part of what's offered at Service Pro Express Lube. Students looking for a part-time gig? Inquire at Service Pro Express Lube. Ask about the Scholarship Incentive Program. Service Pro Express Lube, East Villar Dickinson, next to Lucky's.
At Pancheros, we put a lot of work into building every burrito to last for about 10 minutes. Pancheros, come build your better. At Pancheros, every tortilla starts as a small ball of dough. Then it's fresh pressed to perfection. That's just how we do it. Pancheros, come build your better.
Being affected with hearing loss is a common problem, but it made me feel detached from those around me, particularly loved ones. Finally, I made the decision to contact Alliance Center for Hearing in Bismarck. They understand hearing loss and are very thorough in testing, diagnosis, and recommending a solution. Contact Alliance Center for Hearing to begin your journey to better hearing.
IT problems have you down and you need to get back up and running? Then call the IT techs at Consolidated. Here's what our customers are saying.
Josh called moments after I sent my ticket in and resolved the issue in about 30 seconds after logging onto my computer. Very friendly and professional. Thank you.
Eric responded to our request very quickly and resolved the issue for us right away.
Great service from Brandon as always.
Amazing and helpful as always.
Let us help you with your IT issues. Call Consolidated Business Solutions 483-4000 today.
Medora Boot and Western Wear in the heart of historic Medora, open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Boot is their middle name, and they have over 1,500 pairs of boots in stock for all ages and sizes. They also have the all-new Higher Boot, with more expected to arrive this summer. Western clothes, belts, caps, hats, and more, including a great line of toys and Longhorn wall decor. Medora Boot and Western Wear for the cowboy and cowgirl in you.
Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Of the many, many things that you could be doing right now, you've chosen to watch Western Edge Living here on Cable Channel 18 with Consolidated. Thank you. I'm your host, Bill Polinick. I appreciate you joining us this evening. And we're visiting with Dion Madler with Eclipsed Drones LLC. You told us about your training and how you went to BSc and you got your engineering degree and things. Then you had an idea of starting a business as a offering drones as a tool for various businesses, particularly the oil field and agriculture to use. What was that like? I mean, what transpired? What went on in your mind to think, hey, we can make a business out of this?
It's just when I started flying drones, to be honest. When I first started, it was the realization of this is something. This is something that could be big in the future and could help a lot of people and help a lot of companies. So I spent about a year and a half of research while I was working at MDU as a gas line engineer, trying to figure out different ways on how I can impact something that meant a lot to me, what I grew up around, what I've seen, what I've always known. And that was the oil and gas industry, and then even some of the agriculture side of things. So after that year and a half, I mean, I went on a trip with my cousin, who will also be a sole operator in the company Eclipsed Drones LLC, Zach Madler. He's from the New England area, good buddy of mine, great cousin. But we went down to Houston, Texas for the Drone and Robotics Conference and Summit back last June, and we got to walk around and see all the different people that were there and all the different things they were doing. There was dogs that were walking around that were robotic. There was this camera that can do this, and that camera that does this, and this drone's this big, this drone's got 8 foot by 8 foot wingspan. Like, it just never ended, it seemed like. So the possibilities were just there. And finally I just looked at him, I go, we need to take a jump on it. We need to do something, and that's where it all began.
You know, before we started today, you sat down, you showed us some images of a PowerPoint that you have, and I was surprised to learn that you can detect leaks in oil tanks with a drone. Talk about that process.
Yeah, so there's a camera, OGI, it's all optical gas imaging is what it stands for. People are using them, they attach them to these drones, and most people are flying them 75 feet above these facilities. And if there's a tank that is leaking, you can detect that leak. It'll show a gas cloud, and depending on the settings that you have with that camera, it'll either show up as a green gas cloud, or it'll show up as a darker gray or a black. It just depends on what your settings are. And then that saves people time, money. I mean, you can locate that leak immediately. So instead of sending somebody around walking through these tanks looking for this leak, just either by ear or by smell or anything like that, or actual handheld gas monitor, this drone can fly up and you don't even have to be on location, and it'll go around and detect that gas leak.
Wow. Did you tell me that you can fly inside the tank with it?
Yeah, so that's actually a different type of drone there. We're actually pushing this one a lot because this one is actually probably one of my most favorites. It's going to be a safer and way more efficient environment for anybody. So most times when people are doing confined space inspections, they have to send their actual personnel in, or somebody that's certified to go in. Then people are crawling into these tanks that require a lot of paperwork to do. I mean, you're putting somebody's life at risk, technically, basically, to go inside of there, whether you don't know if it could fall in or whatever. So as long as there's a 22-inch entry point on a tank or anything like that, I can lift that drone up, fly it inside that entry point, and I can fly around. So usually the way to do it is we'll fly that drone around just to see if there's anything that's going to be in our way or anything like that, and we'll fly it back out. We'll change out a battery. So while I'm flying around that first time, it's building a live 3D model on my controller and computer screen that I have, so I can see every little detail of what's going on in there. I can see if there's an I-beam that runs across the middle of the tank, if not, or I can see if this wall is kind of bent in or anything like that. So it gives me that live video feed of the whole 3D object that I can zoom into, zoom on, move around, and see all these different little pinpoints that are in there. So after that first main step of going in and just recognizing what you're dealing with, you can actually set up another battery, get in there, and actually spend your time to look at all the welds, the bolts, anything that, if there's any defects, and if there is something that needs attention, you can make a point of interest. A POI is what we call them. Okay. And you can take multiple pictures of it, and what's really cool about that is that pinpoint, that point of interest, when you select that, it will give you an XYZ coordinate of where exactly it is. It's a plus or minus 2 centimeters is the biggest difference that it'll give you.
Okay. With my limited knowledge of cameras, I do know one thing, that lighting is very important for a camera to function, and I do know that those tanks are dark inside. How do you compensate for that?
There's actually a bunch of different light images on that drone itself that actually help with that. So there's side lighting, there's some oblique lightings, and then there's some fog lightings as well that helps with dust and everything else.
Okay. Gosh, this is an interesting field. Another thing that I know is it's when you're back outside and you're doing your applications outside, the wind sure likes to blow in North Dakota.
Oh yeah.
But your drone isn't affected by wind as much.
No.
How does that work?
There is some effect to it, just like there would be as anything. But the wind that they can withstand, the speeds, is actually more than a person would think. My bigger drone can withstand about 55 mile per hour winds, depending.
And it'll lock and stay steady?
There's some movement. There's some movement, just as anything would be. But it's able to identify that movement, and it tries to maintain its course as best possible. So I can either fly that manually to help that, or I can plan a flight route that it can follow that path that I design itself, and it'll try to stick to that course as best as it can.
Okay. You've been in operation less than a year, and you're working on getting the word out. What is your biggest challenge at this point in your business as far as reaching a customer? You out there knocking on doors, shaking hands, dropping your business card off, or what do you need?
Honestly, it's just more getting that reputation, getting that chance. Like I tell everybody, I mean, I'm new, and that's totally fine. That's a big understanding. Like, that happens. You got to start somewhere, though, is how I see it. And I'll go around, and just like I always say, my cousin says it too, we'll build it off of a handshake. That's how we want to be as a company, is a handshake goes a long ways. You can
tell he's from southwestern North Dakota. Yeah, that's the contract right there, a good firm handshake.
A handshake that goes a long way. So
some other applications that I think about, tower inspection. You know, there's a lot of cell phone towers and radio towers, television towers. Tower inspection, is that something that's being done with drones? Do you know?
Yes, there is. They're actually doing a lot with long wave thermal cameras. So those ones, I actually do have one of those, but we're using it more for the agriculture side. I'm thinking we're going to use it as far as animal management. So there's studies out there that people are using these thermal cameras on animal management wise for calving. They can recognize the heat temperature differences of a cow when it's about ready to calve out.
Wow. And you mentioned that's a field that you're looking to offer your services to.
Yes, we're doing some stuff right now with some vegetation on some crop yields and everything like that, photogening and reading different types of, wow, drawing a blank here. Different types of weeds, things like that, that's building in crops. So that's what we're working on right now this year. We're getting all that data, collecting it, so we can understand how to read the reports that come from that. So once we can understand the reports that come from that, then this coming winter, we're going to go and push to a bunch of farmers, ranchers, anybody that needs it. If they're looking at CRP fields or need help with something like that, we're going to go and push for that.
There's a guy watching this TV show right now going, I'm sold. I got to get a hold of this guy. How does he go about doing that?
So right now right now I'm just solely handing out business cards, but I do have a Facebook page. We are working on the process through that. As of right now, it's kind of needs some tweaking. It's showing more so you have to add me as a friend rather than just follow. So we're working on those adjustments right now, and we are going to be posting some of our data that we are collecting on that Facebook page.
Look for Eclipsed Drones LLC on Facebook, and get a hold of this guy, and he will come and show you what he has as far as drone technology.
Yep.
Is there any question that I haven't asked you, or anything you'd like to share with our viewers today before we turn you loose?
I think I'm all good. I just like to get the opportunity to get out and talk to people about it. I mean, it's a new thing, and it's coming quick, and it's going to help a lot of people in any industry, to be honest.
You're having fun, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm having a great time.
Dion, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it. Dion Madler with Eclipsed Drones LLC. Find him on Facebook, and there's your phone number's on there. You can get a hold of him and find out more about this wonderful new technology, this service that's being offered to the oil industry as well as the agriculture industry, to the biggest here in southwestern North Dakota. I'm Wild Bill. This is Western Edge Living. Find us on Facebook, and if you've got a group or organization or a business that you think you'd like to get the word out on it, get a hold of us, and we'd love to have you as a guest here on our program. Our guest today, Dion Madler with Eclipsed Drones LLC. I'm Bill Polinick. This is Western Edge Living.
Thank you for watching Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson.